Thank you for joining us today. My name is Nicole Sanderson. I work at the University of Washington Bothell, and I'm also the PCAPA conference chair. I'm here today with Joe and Murray from Ameresco. Guys, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so I'm excited to chat with you guys today. So why don't we start with you guys introducing yourself, and then maybe just explain a little bit about what you do at Ameresco, and to make it put a little bit of a twist on it, give us one fun fact that not many people know about you.
Okay, sure. I'll get us started. My name is Murray Greenwood. I am an account executive with Ameresco. So that really means the frontline business development, looking for new clients and working with existing clients to make sure we have a great relationship with them. Fun fact, I guess, is that I'm a ski racer and ski coach, and also the token Canadian on the Ameresco Northwest team. So I've been getting a lot of inquiries lately about path towards emigration. I'm not sure what people are talking about.
Not sure if that'll hold up with that either.
Awesome. My name is Joe Mankiewicz. I'm with Ameresco Northwest. Also, I'm located here in Portland, Oregon. And I am also in business development and project development with clients here in Oregon and Southwest Washington. And I'm excited to join you guys today. My fun fact is I was a Navy nuclear submarine officer for 12 years. And I, at one point, got to cross the equator and the international date line at the same time in a submarine. And then we also stopped and took a swim at the equator in the ocean. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay.
That is cool.
Are you guys all sort of daredevils at Ameresco?
Former
Well,
daredevil
we
here.
don't even get the title. We've got a colleague who has all sorts of battle wounds from his dirt bike racing.
Yeah.
So we're just the also-rans,
Yeah.
Joe and I.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you guys really well. You guys have done 4 phases of contracting for UW Bothell, and we'll talk about some of the projects that you all have done for us as we go through this interview. But for the folks at home that aren't listening, that maybe don't know about Ameresco, can you tell us a little bit about what makes you special?
Sure. So Ameresco is the largest independent energy services company in the industry. And the reason we think that makes us special is we're entirely unbiased with respect to seeking out projects for our clients. We're not biased towards any particular technology because some of our competitors are primarily technology providers that also build energy projects. We're not biased towards any particular service provider either, because one of the great features of the performance contracting mechanism that we use is being able to assemble the most knowledgeable set of service providers to achieve the project and really drive efficiency. We're very focused on efficiency, so it's really important to get the best gear installed by the best people so it can run optimally and achieve the savings that our clients are counting on to be there to help pay for that project over time. So it really our independence allows us to tailor the ideal solution for each and every customer, because each customer has a unique set of needs and wants. What do you think? Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I'm newer to the team than Murray is, and I think one of the things that attracted me to the team, and I came from a competitor of sorts in the energy services field. What attracted me to Ameresco was the teamwork kind of aspect of it. Everybody really does work together, and we're a local group. We have our project developers, our energy engineers, our construction managers and project managers literally in the office right next to us. Well, mostly they're out in the field, but they're here local, both at the Renton office and the Portland office, and also in California. So that kind of local relationship building was very important to me, coming from a large national organization to another large national organization that acts very locally and has a lot of local authority. And we give back into the community in a lot of our projects. We're able to, and Murray kind of alluded to this, we hire local teams when we can, and service teams that we can, and contractors to be able to do that, to be able to, again, put a lot of that project money back into the area that it's coming out of.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, the three of us have talked a lot about the fact as a customer, I appreciate not feeling like when we talk, it's more of a friendship and a collaboration. It never feels salesy with you guys. So I can definitely attest to that too. So it's great. So let's maybe talk through some projects.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Okay. All right. So another one of my favorite things about working with you is your turnkey construction services. And the one project that really highlights this for me is the last boiler project you did for us, which, boiler projects can be kind of a pain. You're loading a lot of equipment in and out, taking services offline, that sort of thing. And it went really, really smoothly for us. So do you want to talk a little bit about your philosophy around these types of projects and how you make maybe sometimes disruptive projects easy on your customers?
Sure, absolutely. So, whenever we engage with a new client, everybody's got a wish list of projects that just haven't been attended to yet, right? That's a very common starting place. And there's lots of reasons for that. The one most people jump to immediately is, well, there's just not enough money to get those things done. But other times too, there's other hurdles that our clients may have in front of them that they've been struggling to get past. And couple of them sometimes are really about, having the in-house expertise or capabilities or knowledge to handle a particular type of project, and even the bandwidth, the capacity of your in-house staff to use traditional contracting to figure out what the project looks like, get it designed, get it scoped so you can get it bid, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, we bring a solution that is a different solution, a different contracting vehicle through performance contracting to try and get those projects accomplished. But it really all starts with communication, because it's that extension of the talent on your own bench. It's that integrating us as a team player within your staff and an extension of your staff, that if we can pull that off, if we can achieve that kind of level of relationship with our customer to help do all the legwork, provide the bandwidth that our clients might not have in hand at the time, if we can do all that legwork, but empower you to make those good informed decisions and get the project that you want, at the end of the day, by really focusing on the communication and the integration that way, at the end of the day, the project comes off, it's highly successful, people are very happy with it. And that allows the customer to say, boy, that was easy and that was efficient. What about this project? So we have, I would say the vast majority of our customers are multi-phase customers. They have a good experience on the first time and they say, okay, well, what about tackling this next phase of work? And I think it's that focus on the relationship and communication that enables us to forge good relationships with our customers and be able to stick around for, with UW Bothell for 4 phases of work now and hopefully more down the road.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just from a customer perspective, it's so nice to turn the project over to one of your project managers, and they get to wrangle the contractors and be the bad guy and do all the things that's not so fun. And so it's such a great partnership, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's how performance contracting should work. Again, you're relying on your ESCO to do all that legwork, to do all that research, to put the various choices in front of you. And then, you and Tony and the key decision makers on your team, on your brain trust, can make good informed decisions, and then again lean back on us to get that project completed and across the finish line, to success. So that's the way performance contracting is designed to work.
Great. I also think what makes you guys unique is that there's really no project that's too big or too small for all of you. And when I think of the bigger projects you've done for us, my thoughts automatically go to the solar array project that we did for us as part of a Department of Commerce grant. And for us, that project wouldn't have been possible without the grant, which you guys were also sort of responsible for bringing to our attention. How do you think about, especially in these sort of uncertain budget times, all of higher ed sort of struggling with the budget and trying to figure out how they're going to fund capital projects moving forward? How do you go about creatively funding projects for your campus partners? And how might potential customers be able to partner with you?
That's a great question, because that's where a lot of our new relationships start with, right? Which is how can we even tackle this project, because we've only got X dollars available in capital funding, and that's not nearly enough to get these projects done. And so for traditional contracting, very often that's where the conversation ends and the lineup for future years of funding requests begins. The whole notion of performance contracting, or energy savings performance contracting, ESPC, is that there are many sources of funding for each individual project. And so let's just go through the layers for a minute. So, there may be some capital funds available, and that's wonderful, but capital funds alone aren't going to pay for everything on your wish list. So now what can we use with that seed money potentially to move a project forward? So right off the bat, the notion of performance contracting is to generate, is to upgrade systems with more efficient systems that will generate energy or efficiency savings, right? In your operational costs in terms of your energy budget. But beyond the energy savings, what about the operational savings with respect to manpower and staff time? Because when you put in new systems that don't require the same level of maintenance and operate more efficiently, those manpower resources, people power resources, can be applied to other places. But then there's more layers as well as you start to peel into the onion. What about utility incentives? Because when we're saving energy, the utilities are almost universally set up to try to incentivize you to save more energy, as backwards as that may sound. And when you make particular project choices around optimizing energy efficiency, sometimes those utility incentives can be very sizable. Then beyond just the utility incentives, sometimes there's third-party funding, and that's what you were just mentioning, Nicole. Is in this case with this solar project for you, we were able to get, I believe it was $500,000 of state funding to help pay for that great big array that you can see driving north on I-405. To leverage the spend that you have in this project pathway to bring in a great big additional source of funding from the state. And then also there's another layer as well with respect to renewable energy, like solar. Sometimes there can be additional strategies through tax incentives and through maybe alternate ownership pathways, through power purchase agreements, for example. So there's if all you think about is your project future with respect to how many capital dollars you have, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. There's many other resources available for higher ed clients in order to, and many of our projects have zero capital funding. We drive these projects in such a way as to maximize these alternate sources of funding. And then, if there's still not enough money to pay for it, we can figure out a finance package for you and develop it over a term that will allow you to realize cash flow neutral, or even very often cash flow positive results from the project. The project will save enough cost to more than service the debt to get it built. So that's how you pull a project off of the wish list and out of the lineup for capital requests into the present, into the done column, by leveraging all of these other sources of funding to get it done.
Yeah. And I think what was also really great is that you guys always are thinking of us too, even when we're not, you sort of know what our backlog of projects is. And when you guys always have your ear to the ground and you've brought things to our attention too that, you know, maybe we didn't know about a grant or we didn't know about funding that was available in a different way. So it's very, very cool.
Yeah, and that's a great point to keep in mind, I think, for everybody out there listening, because, you know, the current economic climate, the current post-COVID realities, possibly a change in government coming up, et cetera, and climate and all of these really large issues are providing a great bit of motivation at the federal and state levels to bring public money back into the marketplace to try to stimulate the economy. And so these types of projects are really great ways to qualify for some of that funding. If you look back at the aftermath of 2008, those federal and state funding programs that came to the state in the following couple of years accounted for more than $100 million worth of investment from state and federal governments into energy-related projects all over the state. So I'd say that the current environment's at least similar, if not more urgent, for those same factors to be at play in the coming year or two. And so we think that the environment's getting very healthy to, you know, and so we've got our ear to the ground watching and listening for those opportunities to be coming down into the marketplace.
Yeah. And I think, you know, just you were talking about layers. And I think one more layer to that too, Murray, is that, you know, as you're developing these projects, you're also, like you said, using local suppliers. So I think the supplier on the solar panels was a local company out of Bellingham, Washington. So you're feeding the local economy as you go too, which is just, you know, as you said, like just lots of layers to it and so many benefits across the board to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the last thing I sort of wanted to highlight was, again, we talked a little bit about it, but just your availability to think creatively, especially how you fit projects into that kind of performance contracting box. So that brings to mind a project that you guys did for us where we wanted to install some parking indicator lights above the parking stalls and our two of our garages on campus that would tell folks, when you drive into our garages, you can look down the line and you can see either it's all red or it's green and red. The green lights indicate that there's a stall available. The red lights means that there's somebody parked there. So, you know, this wasn't initially a project where we were like, yes, this is a traditional ESCO, let's do it. But you were able to sort of package it in a way that made it an ESCO. So how do you think creatively with your customers to make projects like this work?
That's a great question. And you know, I think it's part of our identity. I mean, at Ameresco, we've learned to view the world through a green colored lens, right? Like always on the lookout for energy projects. And when Tony Guerrero first mentioned this parking guidance idea, you know, we asked him a few questions about it because obviously it's not the kind of facility upgrade that is going to save enough energy to pay for the installation costs. But that doesn't mean it wasn't an energy project. Once we talked about it and we started to understand, well, of course, the whole mission is not, you know, to save enough energy to pay for the project. The mission is to get kids, to get students out of their cars and into the classroom earlier, and not late, and you know all the other costs and complications that come from this you know wonderful problem you have, which is just a tremendous number of students that all want to learn and get to work. But you know, how do we efficiently get them out of their cars and into the classroom? And so, you know, once we started thinking about this, of course, it was really about reducing that travel time, reducing that idle time in the building. And you know, when you think about that, there is an energy piece. There's the fuel conservation. So, you know, once we came up with that, you know, really project driver, we reached out to the state energy program and pitched them on the idea and kind of wrangled some Q&A back and forth from them, and they got on board. They said, yes, this does qualify as an energy project. And so we were able to do it as a performance contract through the state energy program. So I guess it just takes a little bit of creative thinking and a little bit of determination to drive those higher aspiration projects where you can.
Mhm.
Right. And I think we had talked about this a little while ago too, but there was, in terms of bringing new ideas to the table. I think Nicole, you said it perfectly, right? We don't call you up to sell you something, right? Necessarily, we call you up because we want to help you address some needs or answer some questions or just check in and say hi. How are things going in this crazy year we're having? And we also bring some really interesting ideas to the table because we keep our ear to the ground on a lot of these things. And where Ameresco started in terms of this energy savings performance contracting model at our core, we really have also just grown and developed into an integrated energy solutions, just integrated infrastructure solutions partner with a lot of our customers, and being able to bring some really innovative ideas to the table that may not have originally fit into the original thinking of what we do and how that's expanded, and what's allowed within those guardrails is really quite impressive in terms of the new technologies that are out there. Everything from intelligent parking that ties into a smart campus or smart cities technologies to electric vehicle charging, to microgrid, battery storage, things like that address resiliency questions when we face these terrible natural disasters that are happening, like wildfires, potential earthquakes, things like that we need to prepare for. There's a lot that Ameresco does at its core that also is shown we've grown, and we help our customers grow with us.
Yeah, great. I agree completely. Well, those were all the questions I had for you all. Any last words you want to share?
I'd just like to go on record here officially to say it's been a pleasure working with you and your team, Nicole, at UW-Bothell. We've really appreciated the chance to work on some pretty cutting edge projects in their day. And as you can see, that parking garage story got picked up by Cairo 7 News. And so we got to see Tony with part of his 15 minutes of fame on the evening news. Kind of a thrill, actually. But yeah, I mean, it's wonderful to work with an organization who wants to walk their talk, right? Like you folks, you live and operate in an area of the country where sustainability and clean tech and clean energy is important, and UW-Bothell is really stepping up and living that in how you operate your facilities. And so, I think that you folks have been fantastic to work with and really stand out as leaders in that space. So we've really appreciated working with you and Tony and all of the folks on your staff.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll echo that with respect to PC APA and the fact that you guys are getting out there and holding a virtual conference. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do this in person, but it's still great to be able to get out and share this information. There's a lot of critical information that's getting out to folks who need it right now. So thanks for doing that. We appreciate the time today.
Yeah, no, thank you both. And thank you for the partnership here on campus, as well as with us on the PCAPA side too. So this has been really fun. Thank you.
All right.
Great to be here. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Thanks very much.